What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Trill, and I'm back with another video for y'all today. I got a crazy story time for y'all, as you see by the title, but I'm gonna do that while I'm trying to take my hair down, because baby, this stuff needs to come out now. Alfalfa. It's crazy. I've been through a lot of crazy stuff, but I think this is probably like the craziest of them all. Not necessarily, but yeah, necessarily. I think this is the craziest of them all because it was very traumatic. It was very devastating. It changed my whole life, literally. Like, you know, a lot of us go through a lot of crazy stuff, but like this was a situation where, y'all don't mind my hair, I know it look crazy. This is fake. You know, me and Vanessa trying to do a new style. But anyways, I even suffered from a lot from it. So anyways, so the craziest thing I've ever went through, I think it was the year of 2000 and how old am I, 25? This happened when I was 8. My parents was going to a game with the rest of my family. You know, probably having a great night, a good night, great long night, should I say. And we were at home, from what I can recall. It was my auntie and my sister and my cousin. Now, my little sister, I think she was 5 at the time, 4 or 5, and I had to be about 7, 8. I had to be about 7. I know it wasn't my birthday around that time. So basically, my mom and them came back home, and just like any other normal day, they ended up taking my sister, putting my sister to sleep, and then putting me to sleep. And I'm just looking at it like, you know, I'm just about to go to sleep. I don't remember if I had to go to school the next day, like if it was a weekend or a weekday, but I could have sworn it was like a Friday, maybe not. But anyway, so all of a sudden I hear like a whole lot of commotion for like no reason. I know y'all probably can't even take me serious right now because of how my hair look, but please just bear with me. But anyways, yeah, so I hear like a bunch of commotion, and all of a sudden, like, I remember sleeping in my bed. So like my room was the last room in the hallway. So to the right was my mom's room, and to the left, but if you go up a little bit, was my little sister's room. And then there was a bathroom next to hers. So we had a long hallway, like a super long hallway, and the hallway was connected to the front room, which we considered the living room. No, that was a family. I can't remember if it was a family room or living room. We had a family room and a living room, right? So I hear like a bunch of commotion, and I don't know why. Something told me to turn this way to where I was opposite from the door. So now I'm away from the door, like I'm turned this way, and the door is right here. So no, we're gonna act like y'all the door. I turned this way, like to just turn my head. The lights, I remember the lights being off in my room, and I remember just getting ready to go to sleep. And all of a sudden, I see somebody charging at me with all black on from head to toe. Like, when I tell y'all, I can't even tell y'all how afraid I didn't know what was happening. Mind you, I'm still young. So like that right there already was kind of like tweaking me out, because I'm like, it felt like a movie. Like, you know, my dad, he used to watch like stuff like that, like heist and hostage movies and stuff like that on TV. And I remember seeing this one hostage movie, and I felt like I was in it. I don't know if you guys ever seen it, but it's that one guy that's in it that looked just like, he reminds me of Vin Diesel for some reason. But anyways, it was like that. Like, I just see somebody charging at me in the hallway, like randomly. And I don't recall fighting back or anything. I just remember I instantly jumped up out of the bed and just took off running towards any little place of shelter that I seen. So I get up, and I remember running into the closet, and the guy was just looking at me. He was telling me to get out, and I just froze. Like, I didn't know what to do. So I just sat there and I froze. And then he said, get the out the closet right now. Then that's when he grabbed me. Like, he literally took me, grabbed me out the closet, and threw me in the room with my auntie and my little sister. At the time, I don't remember my mom being in the room. I didn't know where the rest of my, you know, like my parents, my sister, because there was so many people in the house. I just remember seeing all of that, and my godfather was there, my mom was there, my dad was there, my sister, my cousin, and my little sister and my auntie, and I just, everything just happened like so quick, to the point where to this day, I still have so many questions. Like, I don't know. So I remember us being on the floor in the room, and my auntie was holding us close. Like, my little sister, I don't think she even remembered half of what was going on. She was very young. I remember her holding us close and rocking us back and forth, saying that everything was gonna be okay. So then, that's when I realized there was more than just one person in the household. Like, there were, I believe it was 3 people. If it wasn't 3, it was 4, but there was more than just that one person that I seen. And they all pretty much looked the same, because as I heard stories over time about the other victims that were in the household, I'm like, wait, but I seen the person. Like, how did he do all of that? When it happened, like, everything was just like so quick. So then that's when I realized there was more than just one person in the house. Like, there was multiple people in the house, multiple situations that were occurring. But I mean, if I had those other people's point of views, like right here, right now, it would probably freak you guys out too. Like, it's very, very traumatizing. I remember my mom got hurt. My dad, I remember him, he ended up leaving, I think, to get some help. And then, unfortunately, one of my relatives got shot in my living room, and I heard it, but I didn't see it. So all of a sudden, I remember everything just being over with, just so quick. I don't remember what happened after that. I know eventually they left, and I remember getting up, and my mom was sitting on the couch, just rocking back and forth. Like, she couldn't stop. Like, she was anxious, like anxiety, like traumatized. I could tell, because just I had never seen my mom like that. Like, I ain't seen my mom cry, so, but I've never seen her like that. And I remember her crying, and I remember giving her like a teddy bear that I had of mine to like try to comfort her. You know, as a kid, I really don't know how to comfort her for real, but I just gave her that, and I'm like, it's okay. But I remember as I literally did like this to my mom, because our family living room was very, very big. I remember the police standing in the living room, and they were asking us questions and stuff. And then I turned my head, and I see just a puddle of blood just like in the living room. And I'm like, so what I thought I heard, I was actually like, that was actually what happened. I thought I was just hearing something, like it was a loud pop though. I remember hearing a loud pop. I just didn't know what it was. And that was probably the most traumatizing situation I had ever dealt with. I'm not gonna go into more and more details of what happened, but I definitely remember that. I definitely remember how traumatizing it was. It changed my life. It definitely changed it for the better. I remember I was very angry for a long time, because I just couldn't understand why somebody would want to do that. And then, like, I didn't know who it was I knew who it was tied to, but I just wanted to know, like, why, like, so bad. Like, why us? Why today? Like, it ended up having us, we had to relocate every few months. Me and my sister even got split up from our parents. We ended up living with relatives all throughout the family, from one location to the next. We didn't have a stable environment at the time, to the point we stayed in hotels. It was cool, you know, as a kid, you know, you looking at it like, wow, like, I got a chance to be in a hotel, like Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. And at the time, yeah, it was cool, but when I go back and think about it, I'm like, wow, like, I mean, I can only imagine how bad it played on my people's heart, like my parents and stuff like that. But it affected me very, very, very traumatically, to the point where everywhere I went, I was like paranoid. Like, if I seen something that looked suspect, I would literally jump in a bush just to protect myself, because I felt like I knew that they weren't dead. I knew they were very much alive, and I honestly did not know if they were going to come back to finish the job. Like, I can't even lie to you. I didn't know. I'm glad that ever since then we've been okay, but it's like, that right there for a child is very, very traumatizing, and I don't think people understand that. Like, home invasions are not to play with. That is very traumatizing. I remember me and my little sister, we ended up getting separated from our parents. Like, it was times we lived with my brother. We lived with other relatives, like my cousins. And growing up, it was fun because I was around my cousins and stuff, and my nephews. when we finally got separated, I remember we ended up we ended up staying with my grandparents who were a few hours away, and my parents were apparently trying to find a place for us to stay. But like being separated from my parents, I lived in a mother and father household, so I wasn't used to that. Like I wasn't used to being away from my people that long. I'm grateful for my grandparents keeping us, but like they don't even understand how frustrating that was as us kids. Like it was a new environment, there's a lot of stuff we weren't used to. I remember my mom was writing us letters like to keep in touch with us, because at that time we didn't have like phones and stuff like that. I don't think people realize, I could definitely say it helped me going through that, but I can also say it definitely gave me PTSD that I still even suffer from to this day. Like sleep paralysis, I didn't get that until that situation happened, and I'm still to this day trying to figure out how to go around it, to where sometimes I have to sleep with like music on. When I'm going through sleep paralysis, I feel like my body's in danger. Like I don't think people realize how serious that stuff is. A lot of people be laughing and stuff at it, but when you go through it, it's like you in a whole nother world. Your body literally feels like it's in danger, and that's when my anxiety comes in. Like everybody's okay, nobody died. Yeah, I know I'm still not done with my hair. I got like two more braids up. But if y'all enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Thank y'all for listening to my story. As traumatizing as it is, if anybody also has any suggestions on how to deal with sleep paralysis, please let me know, or even anxiety, because my anxiety is up the wall. Out of it all, we ended up going to a good school, multiple good schools, grade school, middle school, and then high school. Very grateful for the experience. Definitely miss my people out there. Yeah, if y'all like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. You did. Yeah. See y'all next time. Thank y'all. I love y'all. Stay tuned.